Inside Out.
The emotions are strong with this one.
Inside Out is the latest Pixar film, and it takes place inside a little girl named Riley's mind as we discover her five core emotions. They're fear, sadness, anger, joy, and disgust. Disgust. And it's just basically traveling through her mind and seeing what it's like. And then she moves from Minnesota to San Francisco, so she goes through this whole weird phase in her life, and it's about her emotions and how she goes through that. And also, there's a little adventure thrown in there too. Overall, it's Inside Out.
It's very Inside Out. Yeah, I mean, I think overall the story, the way they set it up with her movie and everything, gave the I guess the five core emotions a chance to go on adventures. You said before, because there need to be some kind of issue. It couldn't be just about the five emotions.
And that would have been really interesting too, just to see a regular day with the emotions.
But yeah, I mean, the adventure was very, very cool. I think each character obviously has their own different traits, and it was kind of interesting to see that. And yeah, that's really what kind of made this movie flow.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how all the emotions really just need each other to make it work. You can't just be happy all the time or sad. You need them all to coexist. And so that's really what this movie is all about, that you have to have all the emotions. You can't just be happy all the time. And really, the voices of the emotions are really the stars of the movie, and they're fantastic. Amy Poehler as Joy. I really like Bill Hader as Fear, and Lewis Black as Anger. Phyllis Smith. They're all really funny, and it's interesting to see them interact.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I think this is a very cool concept. Going in, I thought, okay, well, how are they going to do this? Well, they ended up making it really well. I think, again, the story with Riley growing up and then having to move, and the change of emotions from growing up really shows, and I think they did a good job of that.
And really, without spoiling the plot at all, because the plot's really the interesting part, I felt like my only really kind of problem with this movie was it kind of felt a little repetitive at some points and somewhat predictable, because once one thing happens, you figure out what else is going to happen. But they make it so fun and different and interesting throughout. There's lots of surprises that weren't marketed for the movie, so I don't want to, again, say too much, but it's just a really fun movie that you should definitely check out.
Oh yeah, I think, and the cool thing is there's basically two stories going on. The story outside, and then obviously the story inside. That's Inside Out, and I think that's really cool because, yeah, I mean, you get to see the emotions do their things and see the problems that they have to endure in this movie, and then on the other side you get to see the same exact thing, a day in the life of Riley and her parents, and having to deal with her problems, and you get to see how those problems coexist with each other, with the emotions and Riley and what's going inside her head. And really, the parents get a chance, you get to see inside of their heads as well.
That's some of the funniest parts of the movie, when they switch point of views to the parents inside their head. That's hilarious when it switches. And also, this is just really a return to form for Pixar, because their last couple movies have been like Cars 2 and Brave and Monsters University, which have been fine, but it's not like the original like Pixar that we all know and love. This is their return. It's an original concept. It's fun, it's new, it's fresh, and it's just an overall really good time.
Yeah, but 100% I agree. I think obviously I don't think this is the best Pixar movie, but I think it's definitely.
I don't think it would even make my top 5.
Yeah,
it's a fun movie. It's not as like the other ones are just classics, but this is a really good movie.
Yeah, this one is cool just because the originality of it. There's nothing like this out there, which is really cool. It's not all these superheroes like we're seeing these days, or
it's a prequel, sequel, spin-off.
Yeah, or like something to do with like animals or some random that Pixar would do. No, this is something original, something that we've never seen before, and I think that's really cool to bring this to the big screen. I think that's one reason why I enjoyed it more than anything, because although it was predictable, it was interesting because I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, it's definitely a new, fresh idea. I'm surprised no one's really had this idea before, to go inside someone's mind and mess with the emotions and see all that. It's really cool. Pixar, it's good to see them making original ideas again. I hope they keep that going. I hope we don't get sequels to this. I hope it's just a standalone movie, because again, like I said, the plot, when they get into the adventure, is the weakest aspect, so I really don't want to see any more sequels to it.
Yeah, and the overall humor of this movie is really good. It feels for all audiences, whether you're real young or real old, you're gonna have a fine
They didn't
fine
depend
time.
on fart jokes either. They
Yeah.
didn't depend on like kid humor. They really just made it so that everyone could laugh. They didn't just. There were some scenes where adults would roll their eyes, but really everything works for everybody.
Yeah, I think that was really impressive of it because I feel like some kid movies either try really hard to appeal to the adult or really
And they
hard to
fail.
appeal to the kids,
Yeah.
and this one just does a good job doing both, which I think that's what a movie like this should be. It's supposed to be a family movie. It's supposed to be so everyone can enjoy it and sit down with it and have fun. And this movie does a great job of that with all the characters and everything. Terrific job. And overall, like I say, Inside Out is a terrific movie. I would definitely recommend seeing it, especially because it's a Pixar movie. It's something that we've never seen before. It's something you'll have a good time with, especially with family and friends. And so I'm going to go ahead and give Inside Out a solid 8 out of 10. I think it was really solid. Really nothing much to gripe about besides just, again, as you said, a little repetitiveness at times, and just overall it's kind of a weak storyline at times, but overall it's a fun, enjoyable movie just because of its originality.
It's definitely not. I don't think it's going to be one of Pixar's best in the long run. It's not going to be remembered as a classic, but right now it's the best kids movie we've got in a while as far as it appeals to adults and kids. It's funny, it's fun, it's new, it's interesting. So overall, I beat you with Jurassic World. I'm going to beat you again, 8.25 out of 10. It's just, I really wanted to get this movie higher. I see a lot of people giving it like perfect scores and stuff, but it's just, again, with the plot, it was just too predictable for me. But overall, really fun movie, definitely fresh. You should check it out. It's a good time.
Oh yeah.
So thank you guys for watching this review. Next up, we have Terminator Genisys. Which is gonna. He's looking
Big fan
forward
of
to it.
Terminator movies. I don't really care.
I'm a huge fan of the first two. I really hope this movie surprises me, but you'll be here to see our reaction of it, I'm sure, so make sure you check that one out. J&J Reviews.
Signing out.